messed up.
Oh,
I messed up.
not working?
I think I messed up. We're gonna find out though.
I'm going to check on the YouTube right now. All right. One of the YouTubes looks like
I don't
it
see
is.
anything going.
Yeah. On one of the YouTubes, the main one is
The main one is going. Hold on.
Yeah, the main YouTube one is going. Let's see. I don't know if our TikTok's going. Let's see here. On the Yep, the up and down screen is also going.
TikTok is going.
Yeah, on the YouTube. I'm just doing YouTube check.
I cannot get.
So TikTok, guys, is we're trying to. Professor T's working on getting everything
I'm
all
working
together.
on all of this getting together, but today it's been a struggle, a big time struggle. But don't worry, we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get it going.
I'm actually
Talk a lot of UFC stuff, Boots.
Hey,
Yeah.
that was a great show.
The man. Boots is the man. But we're gonna get Professor T's unbiased opinion since he loves Terrence Crawford. How close is Boots?
Right.
How close is he?
Right. Dude, what is going on with my situation?
Just checking on everything. Ben Whitaker's finally got a date.
Hey, that's gonna be a big fight.
That's gonna be fun to finally see him in action.
Be fun.
I mean,
you're right. It looks like both is working.
Okay, cool. I have to bring this up because it's just news, but the Jake Paul and Hank Davis documentary is on Netflix right now. So there is that.
It's nothing we can do about it. All right, so yeah, I'm thinking we are good. I don't know.
Is TikTok on? TikTok's on.
TikTok. Let me get TikTok. I did not start TikTok. I am a
all right. Because we want to get everybody.
You know we want to get everybody. So don't worry, we getting there. TikTok is about to go live right now in a few seconds here. Wow.
We love our TikTok people.
We love TikTok. TikTok comes through. Hold on, here we go. Okay, so this is the knockout canvas. Let's do that again. You know what? TKC. Let's go. We going live right now. Immediately, effectively. Shout out to TikTok. It's the knockout canvas in the building.
All right. TikTok is live then. Awesome.
It's live. Everything is live.
Perfect. Loving it. Loving it. All right. So here we are. What's the 15th? October 15th.
Today is October 15th, 2025, Coach Aaron.
Crazy how much boxing's already happened. The UFC, they're consistently doing stuff. Yesterday, they just did here in Vegas the Contender Series. I think that was the finale for the Contender Series, and they're Dana White already kind of confirmed that it's going to be on Paramount Plus going into 2026. So more content for Paramount Plus for you guys who don't have it yet. You might want to get it. I have it because I like Tulsa King and all the other shows that they provide. So they'll be having the UFC. Ilya Taporas is supposedly going to be the main in January, which will be crazy.
Okay.
For free, right? And then UFC Fight Night had just happened. I don't know if you got to see this one, Professor T, with Charles Oliveira. He got that submission in Brazil. That was crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure it was a good one.
Oh, it was sick, man. It was sick. So there, one of the suggestions right now is if Oliveira Max Holloway could happen. And I'm like, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
I'll take that all day. Max Holloway? Yeah. Max Holloway is a dog. For y'all that may not, right? Yeah, you look at his record, all that nonsense. He's a dog.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the UFC is just again, it's a different format, right? Like losses don't matter as much as just how exciting and
perform.
how you perform. Yeah, and there's just so many different arts, man. Like you could literally lose within an instant. You know, you just never know, man. And you know, with Alex Pereira, he won, but he broke his foot. So how long is he going to be out for now, right? Like you know, it's pretty brutal, man. It's pretty brutal. But again, one of the magics of Dana White and the UFC is they continue to just churn the machine, man. It's part of the reason why, in my opinion, and I know it's not that popular of an opinion when it comes to some people that you talk to in the States, but it's the reason why boxing's still king, because boxing is star driven. The UFC is product driven. So that was kind of the big sort of argument between what you do in the, you know, what's the difference between going, you know, what Dana White's going to do with Zuffa Boxing and turning it into a more of a UFC model versus what you know Eddie Hearn's doing, which is he's doubling down on being a star-driven product. And that's really the key, right? Because what did we just see, Professor T? Philadelphia, that's where the Flyers play, right? Like Tyrone Maxey and a few of the NBA players were there, like courtside, watching Boots buckle the ass on Lima, and it was exciting, right? And by the way, that whole night had knockouts. The co-main event was the heavyweights, that was a knockout, right? And then there was a great one of the people on his camp, Tajir Smalls, had a great fight with Jose Ramos, right? Wins that fight, but got some knockdowns in it. Zaquin Moses looked good. I mean, like this again, man. Like the only difference, and this is my opinion. I want to get your take on it. Is people in the U.S. are still getting used to what the zone is.
Right. I don't understand it.
Right. But if that same card, Professor T, on the same night at the same time was shown on CBS, you know what I mean? We'd be talking about how it competed with college football, right?
Correct.
Because it was that good. It's like it's gonna steal some viewership from college football because it's that good. So again, that's kind of what Dana White is trying to do, supposedly, right? We'll see. But hey, you know what? Let's talk about what we're excited about, the Boots Ennis fight. You called it. You were here. You watched that whole thing. First off, before we get to Boots Ennis, anybody in the undercard stick out to you when you were watching it?
Let me think. Let me rethink that undercard. Yeah, because there were some great fights. I want to say there were, you know, you got to remind me of that card now because we're that far past it. All you got to do is just spark just the names of those fights, and I'll remember immediately, effectively.
Well, the first one, obviously, is, and what people are talking about is Zaquin Moses, who supposedly would be like, he's got a Floyd Mayweather style. He's the cousin of Shakur Stevenson. His hands aren't broken. I believe he's only 19. Let me double check on that.
He's the real.
He's 5-0 now, and he is only age 20. Just turned 20 in April.
Yeah, he's a good prospect.
20-year-old phenom at 130 pounds, and he's big enough. You know, he's Floyd big, so he's gonna continue to move up. But he looked good. Giorgio Vicioli, which is the 130-pound star in Manchester, he's 9-0 now. He's only 22. And he looked good. You know,
he looked really good.
Yeah. So this was the undercards, right? Harley Medeiros, who's 135 pounds, he got a knockout that night. He's 9-0.
Yeah.
He's only 25. I mean, again, like this is what I mean about how if this was scouting, Eddie Hearn basically just showcased this two 135ers.
Yeah, the two up and comings. At least two of the up and comings.
Two 130s, two
130s in the ring amongst each other as well as right.
Right. So we got a 135er in Harley Medeiros, who looked good, undefeated. Giorgio Vicioli at 130. Zaquin Moses at 130. That all looked really good. You saw that one really good fight, and I know you could talk about this because both of the kids were only 20 years old. One kid was 7-0. The Mexican kid was 9-0.
Right.
And that's Dennis Thompson versus Sean Diaz at 122 pounds. And that was the opener to the main card. Man, those guys were banging.
It's a bar burner. Burner.
And I think like that's what Dana White's trying to do. What you watched in Dennis Thompson versus Sean Diaz, I think he's trying to do a whole card fill of that. The problem with it again is, like it'll be action packed, but I don't know how many people are going to want to take losses like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I mean that is an example of you don't have to know either kid. They're both 20 years old, and they put on a great show, right? Like that felt like a Contender Series.
Yeah. You can't be mad at what you saw.
Yeah. It felt like an OTX fight. Like we've watched OTX before. It felt like, or like Pro Box, right? It felt like one of those.
Absolutely.
And then you got to see. So Boots Enos trains this kid. He trains in that whole Ennis group team. His name's Tamir Smalls. He's 147 pounds. He did a 10-rounder for the WBA North American title.
Yeah.
He was fighting Jose Roman, who had only lost one time from Puerto Rico. But the big claim to fame, I don't know if you remember this, with Jose Roman, is Jose Roman's the guy who beat Jaleel Hackett. Remember?
Yes,
Jaleel Hackett, and then he was crying because he talked about how people kind of gave up on him after that split.
Correct. You're talking about the underdog fight.
Right. So that was just in December. So this was Jose Roman's comeback fight from beating Jaleel Hackett in December.
Correct.
And he had to go up against Tamir Smalls, and it just showed you the level, like how good Tamir Smalls is, man.
Bro, talk about it. That's somebody to watch.
I mean, 16-0, Professor T, 16-0. He's only 26, right? 5'9". I mean, I don't know, man. At 147, this kid's gonna be dangerous, right?
He's gonna be one of those ones, man. In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that was already a 10-rounder, so they're probably gonna move him up to a 12.
Correct.
On the next fight,
you have to.
Yeah. And then the heavyweights, man, the big boys, right? Alexis Barriere.
Oh, slick! Hey, I was shocked, man. That was the heavyweight fights. I was impressed.
Yeah, no. I mean, both guys are skilled. Alexis Barriere from Canada is the one who got dropped and lost. But he's trained by Sugar Hill, and Sugar Hill, as you know, has trained everybody from whatever, the Klitschko's to Tyson Fury at one point, and Sugar Hill was a fighter himself. But no, man, like Guido Vianello is an example, Professor T, of how good he is. Because Guido, his actual record, it doesn't look attractive, but if you look at how he fights, he's a top contender for a reason. He's in the top 10 for a reason. He's 14 wins, 3 losses. One of those losses was controversial. He lost to the number 10 ranked guy, FAA Jogba by Ring Magazine. But Guido, bro, is like almost 6'7". He's 6'6". He weighs 250. He's got a good jab. You know what I mean? Good length. And as you know, heavyweights, it's the age is different. He's 31. So, I mean, if we're going to consider, that's kind of young if we're considering Usyk at his peak at almost 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, hey, Usyk. The sport has gotten older.
Yes.
All sports. And that is due to technology. People understanding how to take care of their bodies better. All of these things, right? And I think that just has a lot to do with what you're seeing in terms of all sports and people pushing the boundaries, right?
Right.
Everyone's pushing the boundaries.
Terrence Crawford is king, bro. He's gonna be 39.
He said that. It's pushing the boundaries, bro. Pushing the boundaries. Yeah.
So Professional E was saying that the visuals look off on, I don't know which YouTube.
Yeah,
which one is it?
Yeah, I looked and I thought we were fine.
Yeah, it looked okay on the up and down Professional E, and maybe you meant the vertical one. But thanks for joining us tonight. We do appreciate that.
Absolutely. Shout out to Professional E in the building, man. Let me go ahead and put that up there. Hey, he says, and this his new name is Bud Light. His name isn't Boots anymore.
I like it.
Yeah, Professional E.
I like it. Bud Light.
Yeah. Then he says, Raymond's back to being the taxi cab driver. Right?
Okay, now you gotta stop that type of talk. Lima, I think, would have given a hard time to people like Xander Zayas, or I think he's at 154. That was a solid test, and I think too, Professor T, that's what everybody's kind of. I don't know, I feel like the casual fans or the mainstream fans are kind of like people who are used to eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know what I mean? Like they're just used to just regular stuff, and then you take them to a really nice restaurant, and then they eat Boots Enos, where they're like, "Oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen!" Right? Because that's the majority of the reaction from any mainstream. Is they're like, "I don't know who this guy is, but that guy is awesome. He reminds me of Roy Jones. He reminds me of Sugar Ray Leonard. He reminds me," you know what I mean, right? Yeah. And then it's the critics, right? It's the foodies. It's the ones who go and then they're like, "That meal was all right. I mean, it wasn't all that. I've had better, right? Doesn't it feel like that? Doesn't it feel like?" So that's what I mean. And this is not a slide on you, professionally, because a lot of you guys are diehard hardcores like me and Professor T. But I think me and Professor T are trying to speak to the mainstream public when we say what we want is for boxing to be a top 4 sport in America again.
Correct.
So we want more Boots Enos performances like that shown to the public, so that they can even get excited about a Boots Enos versus Virgil Ortiz, right? And Virgil Ortiz, from what I hear, rumor is Professor T and Spence might be headed over to Fort Worth. That's what Spence said. You guys thinking about it?
That would be nice.
November 8th, man. It's coming around the corner. It's a couple hours from you. You guys can make a whole trip out of it. The whole card is pretty nice. Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin, which, by the way, to everybody who's listening to us tonight, Professional E and everyone, I don't know, man. That's 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would love to see Virgil Ortiz win that fight, because we do have this Boots Enos fight looming, right? It's coming our way. Boots Enos already signed his side of the agreement. But if we're being honest, man, I mean, it's gonna sound biased, but I've been biased about Boots Enos for a long time, right? Yeah, very long time. I'm big on Boots. Even when he was 23, I was big on Boots Enos. But in all honesty, I don't think it's even a contest, man. And I know it's an unpopular take, but I think if Virgil Ortiz fights Enos, Virgil Ortiz is gonna get destroyed, bro.
He's gonna get steamrolled.
I mean, that's just me. His styles make fights, right? And if we're talking about the Virgil Ortiz who he did look good against Madrimov, although Madrimov had bronchitis. He didn't look that great against Boachuk, but again, the rumor was that his hand was kind of hurt. Virgil Ortiz is a guy who's been fighting a lot of hard people, like he's back to back on all these hard fights. But it actually be to his detriment, right? That's the key. Like, you know what I mean? Right? Like, Boots Enos is putting people away. Virgil Ortiz,
12
rounders,
knocking them out.
Right. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. And by the way, word has it from the streets, Boots is ready to go, could go get it. But I hear Virgil, even if he wins, might go a different direction, man. I hear that they're going to try to force Fundura to fight him for the WBC title. Which, by the way, I'm not mad at that if that happens. Fundura versus Virgil Ortiz. And honestly, if I'm being honest, Professor T, and let me get your take on this.
Yeah.
Virgil Ortiz versus Fundura, I think, is a better match for Virgil Ortiz.
I
think-
million
yeah.
times better. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a better shot.
Oh yeah, I think he can knock out Fundura. I think everybody's too high on Fundura. I don't think Fundura's proven to us yet how good he is.
Right. You can get him into a fight, and that's his problem. He can't win a fight, and he knows it, and that's why he tends to want to prove and show that he can get himself. At least that's my take.
Right. And by the way, professionally, I love in the comments. You're right though. Like PBC keeps giving us these uneven fights, which is bad for the sport. I agree with you, man. Which is why we support Matchroom. We support Dana White. You're gonna give us a bunch of even fights, right? That'll work for me. That's fine.
Right.
I'm excited about the Frank Warren card. I'm not excited that they're charging in the U.S. They're charging pay-per-view for it, but I think it's a great card with Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker. That's coming up, right? Pretty soon here. So there's a lot of like boxing in the horizon on top of other UFC cards that's going to be happening. But all right, so let's talk about the 154 division for a second. Let me land on this, Professor T. If you were comparing Boots Enos to what you saw in the 70s going into the 80s, who's your closest comp to who Boots Enos would be?
Jesus. At 154?
Because he started at 47, unified 147, became Ring Magazine champion, unified champion.
At 154, who would he be? His throwback? Man, it's at 154.
He's tall too. He's 5'11", so he's
long.
tall,
He's
almost
long.
6 foot tall.
He's thicker than a
Thicker than Tommy
Paul
Hearns
Punisher.
was.
Yeah, Paul Punisher is another one who's thicker than him. But I don't know why that name comes to mind.
You're
Paul
thinking
the
who
Punisher.
again?
Paul the Punisher.
Oh, okay. Well, you went all the way to the 2000s, bro.
I know.
Because I was trying to see if you can give me like a late 70s going.
No, I
into the 80s.
know. I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. But that was the first thing that came to mind.
Right.
Yeah, throw some names out there. Man.
Well, I mean, people hate it when I say this, but to me, he's Sugar Ray Leonard right now.
Really?
Because Sugar Ray Leonard got a lot of shit too. Remember, he moves up. He's building his record up, and then he wins the fight against Gomez, becomes the 147 title. Right. Loses to Duran. Right. Then has to have the epic fight against Hearns in order to get himself, back after he beats Duran and the whole bit. But anyway, my whole point though is when Sugar Ray, before the orbital thing, moving up to 154 still looked pretty good, and then he did eventually move up all the way to 160 and 168, man. So I'm kind of like if you put Sugar Ray Leonard's record in a vacuum, I guess at 147, you definitely have to say he's probably one of the, if not the greatest 147-pound fighter that we saw, right?
No question.
Okay.
No question.
So if you put Boots Enos in a vacuum at 147, be honest with yourself, man, who would have beaten him? Not Mario Barrios, not Rolly Romero, not Ryan Garcia. Right? Like Like, give me a name, right? Are you going to tell me Brian Norman? I don't know if Brian Norman could beat Devin Haney, man.
I agree.
I'm a rooting for him, though. All right, so Coach Norman, if you're listening to this, I am rooting.
Yeah, we're rooting.
Dude, I really like your son.
Yeah,
I think he could be a next great superstar.
Right.
His hands remind me of a Julian Jackson. Like, he just puts people to
He
sleep,
can fight.
right? Yeah, and I love that he's from Atlanta and he's super humble. Like, there's so many great things about this kid.
That's no.
But we don't know what we don't know. Don't I always say that, Professor? Like, we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
And Devin Haney doesn't suck.
No, not at all. Devin Haney is a dog, in my opinion. And that's the part that people don't get. I mean, Devin Haney's a dog.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying, like, if Boots Enos, so if we were, because right now, if you look at 154, we got Xander Zayas, we got Sebastian Fendura, we got Bakram Murtalazayev, we got Abbas Baru, who just beat Ioannis Tejas. Then you mix in Virgil Ortiz, and you throw in Boots Enos. Pretty stacked division, man, of a lot of talented people that I don't know at what point when we can make a fight with who.
Right. No, that makes sense. And
So-
I feel like somebody's going to get left out of that equation, right?
Somebody, man.
Then it'll be the whole, right? The whole scenario of, you're fine, you're fine.
Right.
You're never going to be able to win that debate.
Right. Yeah. No, and let me ask you this. So the trajectory is, so already we've heard that the 160-pound championship will be fought. 3 belts being unified between Janabek Alamhullah, who is really recognized as the best 160-pounder.
Right.
He's fighting Lara, who you and I both have known for a long time now. And Lara's finally getting his
doing
shot.
the damn thing,
Lara's
bro.
still the WBA champ.
How old is Lara, bro?
It doesn't matter, man. He knocked out Danny Garcia last year. So he's 42. He's going to be 42 by the time he fights again.
You mean he made him quit? He did not.
I mean, it looked pretty bad.
But he made him quit. He didn't knock.
Yeah, okay, true.
He
I guess
didn't
it was a stoppage.
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He didn't like flatten him or nothing.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't flatten him.
Yeah.
He didn't have him stiff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But,
Right.
You know, shout out to Danny Garcia. I like Danny too, so that's the other reason why I want to make sure we clarify. You know,
Right.
My man wasn't out there snoring on the camera.
Right. No, and Danny Garcia, I think he's fighting this weekend, right? Like his promotional weekend and everything.
Yeah.
Hold on, Professor D. Hold on for just a second.
Yeah, I honestly think Danny Garcia is one of his era's greats. He's not a great. Before y'all come for me, he's not a great. But for his era in that weight class, things ran through Danny Garcia in one way, shape, or form. In some way, shape, or form. That's how I look at it. That's how I see it. And we got Ivan in the building. Shout out to Ivan, man. Taz or Shepard. I don't know which to start. Both got good ball time, but I'm leaning Shepard. You talking fancy football. Professional E in the building. Leonard, what's up, y'all? Bud Light and still has a lot to prove, man. If Dennis was a dog, he would have dogged out. I get it. I get you. You know I rock with you professionally, and I'm man, I'm not gonna say Boots fought a lot of tomatoes. I'm not gonna say
No, not at all. Stanionis was undefeated. Come on, man, stop it.
But at the same time,
Roman Villa, remember Roman Villa? That was a good fight.
Yeah. But I get what he's saying. Honestly, Boots is kind of a victim of the circumstance in the same sense of Bud Crawford, which is why a lot of us kind of want to see it. I'm not gonna lie. After what Boots just did, I kind of want to see it, but the reality is, Bud ain't coming back down to anything close to that.
Well, I mean, the word is, and again, this is what's, and I'm gonna get your take on this because you've been a Bud guy for so long, but the word is that he is not gonna leave. He is gonna January, and I'm gonna look up the actual. It's supposed to be the undercard of, I think, Pacquiao. It's either Janabek Alamhula versus Lara, I think, is dated, and it's December 6th. Okay, it's happening December 6th, and it's the undercard, if you can believe this. The Lara versus Alamhula fight, Janabek, for the IBF, WBO, WBA titles, unification, is the co-main event, bro, to Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Lamar Roach.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
That's what I was telling you and Spence, too, is that in San Antonio, Texas, on December 6th. I mean,
that's San Antonio. That's closer to Dallas. I'll definitely go to that.
Okay, well, that one's not till December 6th. Right. But the November 8th, man, in Fort Worth, that's worth it, too. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, wherever Spence lives, if you guys can make the San Antonio one December
right
6th.
Next to me, bro. Spence is right across the freeway.
Okay. So, yeah, it's still, if San Antonio's closer to you guys, then that's December 6th. Then you guys can plan that out. But that's going to be
an hour drive, so we can go and come back.
Okay, so that one's on December 6th. So the rumor is, and again, if this, then that kind of rumor, all right? But the rumor is, because this is happening, Terrence Crawford at some point, and I think we got to wait till, I don't know how well the Cornhuskers are going to do, but he's going to make some announcement at like some bowl game or some shit like that, right?
Okay. Like they're Omaha.
Yeah. So he's supposed to make an announcement that for the first time they're going to do a stadium show at Cornhusker Stadium in 2026, and it's supposed to be the undisputed 168-pound champion, Ring Magazine, pound for pound #1, Terrence Crawford, who will still be 38 at the time, will move down to 160 to fight for his fourth weight division against Carlos Adames at 160 pounds. So then now here we go. This is the record-breaking fourth undisputed. So essentially, the winner of December 6th between Lara and Janabek will fight the winner of Crawford versus Adames, right? To have an undisputed Ring Magazine 160-pound champion. So hopefully this all can happen before Crawford turns 39.
Does Crawford really want 2 more fights? I guess for the money that is.
Well, I mean, it's history.
I'm a Professional E too, though. Shout out to Professional E once again. He says, "Hey, Crawford getting that rematch turns to Canelo."
Oh, I don't know, because Canelo's coming off that injury. Professional E. That's the thing. He's not going to wait. Yeah, he's not going to wait no more, man. He's trying to get paid. All right. So if he made $50 million for the Canelo fight, then his next fight as pound for pound #1, it's going to be closer north to 100 million, at least 75. You know what I mean, right? To fight Carlos Adames. But then if he then gets to do a unification, he's like a for real, undisputed, history in the making type shit. That could happen in either Riyadh, it can happen in Vegas, it can happen. I mean, I don't know where they're going to put it, but I mean, Terrence Crawford, if Terrence Crawford does 2 back-to-back stadium shows, Professor T, and he just did where we went at in Allegiant, that's 70,500, and then he goes to Nebraska sometime in April, let's say, or whatever, right? And then that's easy 90,000 easily, because 92,000 is right. So then, I mean, let's say they make the tickets affordable enough to Professor T, right? then you're looking at 100,000 people, bro. If Crawford gets 100,000 after 70,000, he's going to be an American star. I mean, the fucking Phoenix Suns today was hosting him.
Yes,
Or the other day.
absolutely.
Right?
Got a glove and jersey
Yeah.
and jacket.
He's going everywhere right now. He's doing the Terrence Crawford tour. So what I'm trying to say is, now if you do an undisputed history in the making, 4th weight class, the only fighter to ever do this, you have to now, like, you can now say he's in the Sugar Ray Robinson conversation. He's
The
gonna
only
make,
one ever do it.
yeah, he's gonna make well over 100 million. And they
Oh.
could probably put that anywhere. Honestly, at this point, I don't know where they'd put it, but
Should
they
be
could put it
in Vegas.
anywhere,
Should
and
be in
it would get
Vegas.
packed.
Should be in
Right?
Vegas, the mecca of all fights. In Vegas.
Right. So now I say all of that to say, if Crawford were to do that, and if Crawford is undisputed, if Boots Ennis continues to do what he's doing and he cleans out 154 by the time that gets happened, and Turkey were to say, "Hey Boots,
Yeah.
you're clearly the best 154 pounder,"
Right.
Crawford, he wants to do one more fight, and I'm going to pay him the 200 million that he wants.
You right. You
Right.
right. Put it 160.
Okay. Yeah. Are you willing
Why
for
not?
30 million to move up to 160 and fight for undisputed? Now, come on, bro. Like,
Of course
really
he's
think
taking
about
that
that.
fight. He's taking it.
But even in an American market, in where Boots Ennis is already being connected to the Philadelphia 76ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia Flyers, he's becoming a
Everything.
Philly, right? A
Everything.
Philly thing, right? If he continues in this trajectory, and let's say he flattens Virgil Ortiz if that fight happens, or let's say he fights Bakram and becomes IBF and beats that guy, right? Let's say he beats Abbas Baru, right? Well, you already know people like Xander Zayas isn't going to want to fight him. Virgil's going to fucking stay away from him unless the money's hot, which maybe Turkey can make that happen. So my point, though, is why wouldn't we want to see a 29-year-old Boots Ennis
Right.
fight a 39-year-old,
Right.
Terrence Crawford? I mean, I would want to see a 40-year-old Terrence Crawford fight a 30-year-old Boots Ennis.
Right.
But it becomes like a passing of the torch. It becomes kind of like a Mayweather versus Canelo type of thing.
Age difference, bro. It's a situation. It's a real situation.
So, and if it were to happen, right? What if Crawford beats him? You know what I'm saying? Like it's totally.
He should not. Unless, let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. Crawford is past his prime. I don't know if right. I know that's an unpopular statement. I get all of that. There's no way on God's green earth you're gonna get me to believe he's not past his prime.
Right.
Sorry. It's just, and I'm talking about all of it. Reflexes, stamina, all of it.
Right.
All of it. Pause.
Right.
All of it. I think that's a big statement. He's past his prime.
I mean, but the thing is, like what professionally he's talking about too. If he's saying if he was Crawford, he would fight, Boots Ennis right now
Right.
before he develops, before he gets even better, right? I honestly think at this point though, Bud Crawford deserves to be able to fight for the $100 million paydays that.
Oh, 100%. It's
that-
all
that
about the
Canelo's
money.
doing.
It's all
It's all
about the
about the
money,
money.
man.
Yeah.
It's all about
So-
the money at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it puts boxing in a really good place. I remember '87 when Sugar Ray Leonard finally did fight Marvin Hagler. That captured the American audience, right? And that's the type of fights we need, man.
Yeah.
We need fights that can capture the American audience, which is why we always we're searching for a heavyweight star. But you and I both know, man, it just isn't there, bro. It's not right now. We're gonna have to wait a while, 4 years maybe. There's gonna be somebody that'll come
too
up.
much money pushing books. like it is. Although, don't get me wrong, it is. The times are changing, right? Let's be real, because it's the job market. It's cyclical, it goes up and down. But right now, it's rough out there. So
Yeah.
I think you might find this is where you can find some potential, right? Diamonds in the rough. if you will. For the guys that are out there, this is where those that pressure bust pipes.
Right.
Yeah, you
Right.
find those things. You just cook it.
Right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I mean, again, 154 is extremely exciting. We just saw it with our own eyes how good it is. And then boxing just keeps moving forward, guys. Because coming up, like I was telling Professor T, sorry, professionally, I keep confusing.
It's all good. It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister. So Professor T. So after this weekend,
Right.
on October 25th, we're going to see Parker, Joseph Parker, who's currently, I mean, I guess we really should kind of call him the interim WBO because technically Usyk didn't lose it, but Usyk's not going to defend it against him, so they're going to strip Usyk of the title, making Parker the real WBO kind of weirdness. And the interim WBA is Fabio Wardley, who he won that, knocking out Justice Hooney, who you remember watching that, Professor T, and he was losing to Hooney in every round until that knockout.
Every round till the one that matters.
Right. So you got Joseph Parker, who's 36 wins, 3 losses, against Fabio Wardley, who's 19 wins, undefeated with the one no contest. It's the some people call him the Deontay Wilder of Manchester or of England, right? Of Ipswich. But you're looking at a 30-year-old against a 33-year-old. Again, these are not old ages when we're talking about heavyweights, right? This is still within that peak range of heavyweight. Joseph Parker's got a ton of experience. Parker can weigh up to about 270. He'll probably honestly go a little lighter. The most Fabio Wardley's weighed in a fight is about 245. So, heavy hands. And that one's happening in London at the O2 Arena. In a fight called in an event by Frank Warren called All or Nothing. And the undercards of this is pretty hot, bro. Again, yeah, a lot of the undercards are really good. You have to kind of understand international boxing or UK boxing, but a lot of the names you're going to see on this. But that's happening, and that's October. So we're coming off the heels of a Boots Ennis fight. There's another one this weekend that's free on DAZN. That's Lillard and Conway. They're fighting for British titles, and then the weekend after that is Parker Wardley. Like it's hot, man. Boxing is fucking on fire.
Boy.
And then your favorite fighter, or for a lot of different reasons, Chris Eubanks' son. That's November 15th, right? Yeah. So we got Virgil Ortiz Lubin November 8th. Then the very next weekend, we gotta say it, Tank Davis versus Jake Paul's November 14th in Florida and Netflix. And then the very next day, you get a real fight in Chris Eubanks versus Conor Benn 2, right?
That's gonna be a good fight.
That's November 15th. So let me ask you that one, right? What are you expecting? Do you expect Chris Eubanks to all of a sudden win again so that he can get a Canelo match? Or
I do. I think he picks up where he left off.
Really? Man, am I the only one that believes in Conor Benn?
You believe in Conor? I think you are. Bro, Chris got that swag from his dad. You know what I'm saying, on this phone. And I
can't see it.
Just the way that from the first fight, I think he only does better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't see the holes that can be exploited by Conor in terms of his skills. I don't see
back-to-back losses for Conor Benn.
Yeah, I know, and it's gonna mess with his head, especially coming from his opponent. Like, it's the last person he ever wanted to lose to, and to lose to him twice. No rematch, no nothing. It's not necessary, and that's gonna be an interesting way to have to come back from something like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad because he's 23 wins, 1 loss right now.
Right.
He's only 29, right? He just turned 29 in September. I mean, this kid still could be pretty amazing at 147. We don't even know what he could do at 154.
Yeah.
To lose to Chris Eubanks twice at 160, back to back, man. That's not a good look. I mean, he would have made a lot of money, but it's not a good look. I mean, I guess you could just rebuild him at 147 or 154. I mean, me personally, man, I'd like to see Ryan Garcia against Conor Benn at 147. Even Shakur Stevenson talked about. Yeah, Shakur talked about going up to 147 to fight Conor Benn. I mean, there are fights out there for him where he can continue to just keep making money. But yeah, man.
Those fights. I mean, like, yeah. But can he win those fights?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's yeah. They're gonna have to rebuild them or figure out how to do it. And then that's November 15th. The undercard of that, it's called the show's called Unfinished Business. The undercard of that show has Jack Catterall, who, by the way, Jack Catterall is moving up to 147. He's training with Bozy Enos, so he's with Boots. He's with that whole 147. Yeah. So you got Jack Catterall. He's fighting Echo Usman. So now these are guys that could possibly contend against the winner of Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. November 22nd, right? On that same undercard, you got Adam Azim against Zaur Abdullayev at 140. Ishmael Davis fighting Sam Gilley. Riakport is fighting Tommy Welch, who's undefeated from England, right? Like that's a good card, man. That whole, again, you got to know your global boxing, but that's a solid card. And then, we got to keep talking about this Benavidez.
That is gonna be a fight.
Jesus,
is the contender. I mean, it's not mandatory, but
I mean, yeah, it's his voluntary defense. But damn, man, Yard gave your boy Beterbiev a hard time, right? Now Benavidez is 28 years old. Yeah, so Benavidez is 28 years old at the prime of his career. 30 wins, undefeated. Right. The guy's 6'2", right? But man, fighting Anthony Yard, bro. Anthony Yard, he's 34 years old. Again, not old, not young. We're gonna find out where he's at. There. But we're gonna. I mean, it's not like you said, not an easy fight, right? Anthony Yard's only lost the 3 times. One of them being to Beterbiev. So that's the main event. But really, it's like 4 main events because then we're watching Brian Norman Jr., who's 28-0, against Devin Haney, who's 32-0, 147-pound, WBO world title. Like there's so many different directions this can go. So I know you're picking Benavidez to beat Yard, even though I know you believe it's not going to be as easy as people think, right? Anything can happen on that fight. But here we go, man. We're getting closer to it. So Haney Norman, are you still picking Norman, or where are you at on it?
I am. I'm picking.
Still sticking with it. Okay.
I'm sticking.
The Devin Haney workouts are making you a believer, huh?
No, and I like Devin Haney. I just think it's gonna be a little too much for him.
Okay. All right. You don't believe in the whole theory that maybe Brian Norman's momentum coming forward gets him knocked out by Haney?
Nah. No. I don't know. I think Haney is always going to fight more on the cautious and defensive side of things moving forward.
Right.
And I don't blame him for that. Fault him for that. It's, bro, I mean, and that's the thing. See, people don't talk about the psyche and what happens to people when things like that go down in terms of Garcia taking PEDs, man. I mean, it's easy for us to say, yeah, he should bounce back, right, etc. It's not always the case, man, and we don't know if Haney's going to do that. I mean, we will find out here shortly, right? But the honest truth is, I don't know if he's still over. And that's a lot to see. That's a lot to see in my eyes. In this day and age of mental health and everything else, you gotta think about that, man. The dude beat you when he cheated, and we ain't playing shit. You know what I mean? And that was used and intended because this is a real serious situation. You taking PEDs, you can end a person's life. We're not talking ending a career. We're talking ending a life.
Right.
It's different, man. It's different. So.
Well, we're gonna find out, like you said, because this is one of those times where Devin Haney is. When you look at her size, Devin Haney might be a little bit bigger than Brian Norman Jr. Right? So. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. Undefeated versus undefeated, two Americans, young. I mean, Devin Haney's only 26. So worst case scenario, he loses, but he's still young enough, man. Brian Norman Jr. is only 24.
He's old.
I don't know, Professor T, because he's kind of going the Duran way. You know what I mean? Like, he might end up with 100 fights.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or 70 fights or whatever. I mean, he could retire. I don't think it's a money thing for him at this point. But I don't know. I want Norman. I would love. I'm rooting for Norman Jr. I'll say it that way.
Right.
I'd love to see the young 24-year-old do it.
Right.
But it wouldn't surprise me if Devin Haney shocks the world.
Well, of course. Is
Right.
Devin Haney is a skilled boxer, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. The dude didn't just roll out of the bed and all of a sudden now he's up in the mix. Devin Haney's a skilled fighter. Whether you love him, hate him, it's no different than if you're a non-Cowboy fan and hate the Cowboys, right? Or if you're a Cowboy fan and you're tired of the haters. However you want to look at it. That's all Devin. He's all that.
Right. Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, that will be that's a banger. So right away, like bang, 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 and that's November 22nd. And then you got, arguably to me, man, he really should be the pound for pound number 4. He's currently pound for pound number 5, but Jesse Bam Rodriguez. How long have you heard me talk about this kid?
Yeah.
Right? He's the Mexican-American Manny Pacquiao, man. And this kid, again, going for his 3rd unification now of a belt. He already unified WBC, WBA.
Right.
He's now going after he unified WBC and WBO.
Yeah,
sorry about that. And then he's now going to go after the WBA guy in Fernando Puma Martinez, who's 18-0. So you got a young man in Jesse Bam Rodriguez who's 22-0. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is only 25 years old, professional T. This is crazy, man.
Wild.
That's wild to me, right? These are some youngsters.
That's throwback.
This is throwback. And which is why I was telling you, like, it upsets me that regular American media isn't covering something like this or isn't covering it enough, because you have so many young American future champions. Like this card, we're literally staring at the future. Right. We're literally staring at the future of American boxing.
In 10 years, right? In 10 years, people like us are going to know exactly who, what's going on, etc. While everyone else are going to be like, "Oh, wow, where do these people come from?"
Exactly. Exactly, and that's why, again, like we always say, we're trying to cater our information for the mainstream listeners so that they can understand, oh, these are people to pay attention to, because that's a 3rd world championship fight, and the 4th world championship fight happening that night is your favorite guy, Abdullah Mason.
Abdullah
Mason, November 22nd, is fighting Sam Noakes, who's like the UK version right now of like a Ricky Hatton, right? So Abdullah Mason, who's 19-0, knockout guy, great. I mean, I think he could be a switch hitter himself. Yeah, but he's only 21 years old. He's already 19-0. He's already fighting for his first world championship. And at 135 pounds, this kid is 5'9", and he's still growing. He could end up at 5'10".
He's a baby.
Right? He's a baby,
He's a
man.
baby.
Right? Now
Little
he's
baby.
fighting, and this is why, to me, this is a real test where we're really going to find out where your guy is at. Because Sam Noakes, who's 17 wins, undefeated, Sam Noakes is only 28. So he's got that grown man strength. man.
Right. It's an
Okay.
event. It's an event.
Right? He's 5'8", so he's not that much shorter than Abdullah Mason. And this guy, man, he's good. If you haven't seen him, Professor T, you should watch him.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I know exactly what Sam Noakes is.
Yeah, Sam Noakes is the real deal. Now, again, obviously, you and I are picking Mason to win, but we don't know what we don't know. You know, we
Mason
don't
likes
know.
to mix it up and fight. He don't mind getting dry. I'm just telling y'all right now. Another reason why he's my favorite fighter. He don't care. He don't care, man. I'm coming to win. I'm coming to dominate. I'm coming to take the crown. I'm a throwback. No, I'm serious. He's a throwback. Let's go. Come get some. It's my
Yeah,
favorite.
no, that not caring too. That not caring could get you knocked.
It will get. There ain't no can. It will get you knocked out. Somebody will scout that eventually, and if he continues down that path without really, truly being able to have, everything lined up, we'll do it.
Right,
That's my favorite.
right.
I can-
But that,
I can-
yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what we mean is, so that one right there, that's the November 22nd card. So we just covered a whole month's worth of boxing in where you have all of these people, right? And again, the biggest names and when we're talking about the heavyweight division part of this is because Makhmudov beat Dave Allen, and you called that fight too. You were doing that. The Russian went 12 rounds, and the deal is, Professor T, that Makhmudov is supposed to fight Anthony Joshua next.
Hey,
Because he
that's
won
a
that
good
fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight
You like that fight
for him. Yeah, I mean,
for Makhmudov.
yeah, make give his favor.
You don't think he's just going to be a big old Russian punching bag?
Yes. But he gets his payday. You know what I mean? He worked that. Like you said, he worked his way up to that, man. At some point, we got to praise. He must praise these guys getting the job.
Well, the most shocking thing would be if Anthony Joshua loses to Makhmudov, because then that's it, bro. You need to call it quits if that happens.
It's game over.
But what from what I understand, what they're trying to do is Tyson Fury's supposed to be making this comeback. He's gonna do a tune-up, and then Turki Al-Sheikh's gonna make the whole Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua fight, right? Deontay Wilder. I mean, this is crazy, man. But I hear he's supposed to be coming back in January, and he's either gonna fight Dave Allen, who you just watched lose.
Yes.
Right. But Dave Allen might knock him out, right? It'll be either Dave Allen or he might fight Andy Ruiz, bro. I know, man. That's a bad idea.
He's got a special place in my heart.
I know. I don't think it's a good idea for Deontay, bro.
It's my first figure five figure favorite.
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't like it for Deontay. I think Deontay should just, if he needs to make the big money, he should just do like an Ngannou fight. Because people
that's not going to get him hurt. He can
Right.
get it. He can get it.
Right. And if he loses to Ngannou, he really should retire. You know what I mean? Right? If he loses to Ngannou. And then what's crazy too, so Professor T, this Saturday, right? I told you if you want to call the fights, you have the daytime part, which is on DAZN for free, which is Conway versus Littard.
That's a good fight to call.
Yeah, but then you could call the UFC fight at night, which is also for free.
Right.
And I believe that might even be on ABC.
Yeah, I'm doing that. If it's free and we expect.
Yeah, it's either on ESPN or ABC, but for sure it's free. It's a UFC fight night, It's Rene. It's RDR is what everybody calls him in the UFC. But Renier Derrida versus Brendan Allen is the main event at middleweight, and then you have Kevin Holland who's fighting Mike Malott at in the co-main event.
Right.
Then Chito Vera is fighting on that card against Zahabi. Manon Fiorot is fighting Jasmine Jasudavicius.
Okay.
Cody Gibson's on that card. Kyle Nelson. Like it's a solid card, and it's a solid free card. The preliminaries are pretty good. So UFC's doing their thing, and then the next big, you know, this is what's crazy is Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker, heavyweight boxing. It's going to be filled up at the O2 Arena on that side of the world, right? Well, what's also crazy on another side of the world, Professor T, is UFC 321, which is on the same exact date, Saturday, October 25th, is for the UFC Heavyweight Championship, bro, against Tom Aspinall, who's the champ. He's defending it against Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane, the French guy, the former interim champ.
Yes, that's gonna be a fight.
So that's on. So you got a heavyweight UFC event going with a heavyweight boxing event, and that whole card is pretty stacked for UFC 321.
That's dope. I didn't. Yeah.
So that's another good Saturday to call, right? That's double content. I mean, these next two Saturdays might be one of the two of these Saturdays where you got to get Nibs to come in.
Wow, shout out to Nibbles, Big Body with Body. You know we love Nibs, man.
You know, yeah, bring them in. But again, lots of action, lots of fights. You know, we're not talking Raider football because that's why we're tired of that. But you guys, please pay attention to Ultimate Raider Fan 32 on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, so you can hear Professor T get mad at the Raiders every week, right? The flavor of the week for you Raider fans is that Jacoby Myers is not practicing for an unknown reason. And it's like, we know what the reason is, man. It's not an unknown reason. We know. Thank you for your service. You're probably going to get traded to a playoff team. You're probably going to go on.
Exactly. You're going from rags to riches, bro.
You're going to love it, man. I think he'll end up with he might end up back in New England.
No.
You don't think so? The other team I'm thinking he might go to, man, and it would be a good-ass partner, is if he went to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Partner him up with DK Metcalf. That could work, right?
It could.
I'm going to miss Jacoby, too, because he was the best boxer out of everybody in the Raider team. He was the one that was doing the best in the gym, man. Shout out to you, Jacoby. We got nothing but love for you, man. I'm sorry our organization just doesn't have their shit together. So, you know, right now we just got to deal with being the opponent. You know, we just got to deal with that. But other than that, college football, I was just at the UNLV game against Air Force, which was crazy. Right? That was nuts. That was fun. So Saturday, you're going to be doing the fights.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're really going to be competing against any major college football games because I have no clue on that. But yeah, man, lots of fights, lots of things. Definitely a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things that we covered today on the show. Is there anything that I'm missing in terms of fight night wise?
Not that I can think of, man. You know, it's late for your boys. See, look, and TikTok is telling me get it together.
Oh, TikTok's leaving us already. Huh?
It's an hour, so.
Okay. All right. Well,
spot on time, but no, this is.
Yep. Oh, we gave you guys the info. You guys got it down. Lots of fights to talk about. Professor T's going to cover them on Saturday. So that should be pretty fun. Both the boxing in the daytime on the Zone for free, and then UFC Fight Night on ABC for free. So that's it for me. Loving the Ring shirt, by the way. Professor T's wearing the Ring magazine shirt we got at the Underdog show.
It's got a whole Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's
it's
nice.
It's nice. It's
Yeah,
a nice
I bet that's a nice feeling shirt
It
too.
is. It's good quality. It's
Good quality shirt, right?
Good quality. Yeah. Sure. Good. All right, man. Well, yeah, let's get on up out of here, man. I'm going to sleep. I will see y'all Saturday. Hey, if we can get my IG is it is the Knockout Campus professionally. I also obviously have the Ultimate Raider Fan 32. But for this show, it is the Knockout Campus. Everything should be the Knockout Campus. I appreciate that. We appreciate you having you.
Yeah, no, thank you to everybody who's joining us on the chat. Thank you to everybody who's listening to us on replay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I didn't do like I normally do and call out a whole bunch of, I mean, the list is long on TikTok. I can't see the number. It's some strange. Because it just went through that. But
Right.
it's plenty. We always have a lot of role play in there. And as y'all know, we just getting started. I mean, let's get right.
We're just figuring out all the kinks, guys. What we're trying to always do is give you proper mainstream information for you to kind of know everything, and that way you're getting it as a news feed. Where we're giving you information. We welcome all of the banter and we welcome all of the disagreements. Believe me,
Yes.
we like it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, we're just happy that Combat Sports is in a good place. And heading into 2026, a lot of free UFC, free boxing. There's going to be free everywhere. So NFL and NBA, man, they got to catch up. They got to catch up.
Right. Cool. All right, man. Well, till the next time, we are out. Peace.